Hello and welcome to a new thing. Yeah, I am going to try something that historically I haven't done very well with. That is doing a playthrough of a game. I've made a couple of attempts in the past, but really the only true long running series I've done of any game has been CK2, and that's been a little while. Now I do have a CK3 series going at the moment as well, but I thought, seeing as how I'm not doing so much World of Warships, I need to do something else, and Cyberpunk seemed like a decent place to start. This isn't, however, vanilla Cyberpunk. This is going to be with the, I think it's called the Total Rework mod. It's basically a big rebalance mod. It doesn't add any new content, but it does rebalance quite a lot of the game. So there are some things that are going to work quite differently. Now, I've done a little experimental play already just to see what it's like, and some of the changes are definitely going to be an adjustment compared to vanilla Cyberpunk, but otherwise it seems like good stuff. The other thing I've decided is that I am going to see how it goes without doing any censoring, because, you know, the game is what it is. There are some bits of nudity, there's plenty of blood and guts and giblets and stuff at various points, so that's probably going to have an impact on ad revenue and monetization, but as I say, we'll see how it goes, and hopefully it'll be okay. So, new game, and I'm going to play this on hard. I've played it through fully twice on normal difficulty already. I've also already played the Nomad and Street Kid starts, and to be honest, I think the Nomad one is my favourite of them, just in terms of the not only the start, but then of course you get to interact with a bunch of the Nomads later on, and it unlocks some more interesting feeling options. Although, as you are probably well aware at this point, the three paths really don't make a huge difference overall, apart from occasional speech checks. And I think each one of them has a unique small side mission as well. Originally these were going to be quite impactful, and then that all kind of got tossed down the drain along with a lot of other stuff along the way. In some other part of the multiverse, you know, there's an Earth where CDPR waited another year or two to put out this game, and it was a masterpiece that was even better than The Witcher 3, but sadly we don't live in that universe. Anyway, I'm going to go with Corpo, and we are going to design our new character. I think the last one I played was a male V, so I'll go with a female V this time. And I think I'll just use one of the presets. I'm not going to go for ages and ages with... well, we could even just do a bit of randomization. Yeah, I'm not going to play for ages and ages making a new character. I'm just going to hit randomize until I get something that I kind of vaguely like. Because some of the options, there's a decent variety. I mean, they could have done more with the character creator, but overall, yeah. Okay, that's not bad. Let's go with that. That's a look of some kind. And yes, indeed, boobs. There we go. Now, the way I've decided I'm going to do this is I am going to concentrate on reflexes and tech ability, because I'm going to go hard into using tech weapons. And reflexes also covers, I think, handguns and rifles. So those two are going to be quite important. And then I think we'll probably put some points into intelligence, because I think hacking is going to be also a reasonably important secondary skill. So we'll get those up to, I think it's 6 is the maximum. And then we put one into intelligence to start with. Body is also kind of useful in that there are quite a few situations where you either need high tech ability or high body, and you can get alternate paths into things. So you want to have one or the other ideally. There's not that many situations where hacking will get you into other areas. So I think we'll put that point into intelligence for now. I might put a couple of points into body, because the max level in vanilla is 50. So you can get 2 of them up to 20, and then it gives you a few points to put in other things. But there are mods that also let you increase the overall level cap. I did decide not to use any of those though, because I didn't want to change things up too much. So here we go. We are fairly well set up for what I want to do to begin with. And hopefully I won't die too often. This isn't going to be an Iron Man playthrough or anything like that, a single life. The other thing I did consider doing, and I may still make an attempt at, is do as much of a non-lethal playthrough as is possible, because you can't do a fully non-lethal playthrough. There is a bit at the in the prologue where you have to shoot people with guns. The very earliest point you could get the cyberware or the gun mods that let you actually go fully non-lethal are not, I think, until you unlock chapter 1. You can actually go and like buy stuff. Anyway, I'm talking all over the intro, but yeah, V is a happy, shiny, soulless little corpo at this point, but they're somehow still friends with Jackie, which, to be honest, feels a bit weird. But I'm guessing, I think you get flashes of, like, in this particular start, that they've known Jackie since before they were a corpo rat, as it were. Right, not dead yet.
Don't worry, not dead yet.
Exactly. Yet. Anyway, what's going on?
Is there a problem?
So rude, V. So rude.
We had a leak. My boss called, dragged me in because we had to intervene. Everyone at Night City HQ is on edge.
But no way you're fucked, right? You're the one who fixes other people's shit.
Jackie, if you work in Arasaka counter intel, you're always fucked. Don't worry about me. I'll manage on my own.
So you actually start off as an employee of Arasaka, which you would think would be more impactful. You're like, you'd think maybe they would have made it one of the other big corps, but I think they decided to make it Arasaka because all of this modelled interior, I think, is... Actually, do you see this particular bit later on? There's other bits of the interior building that you can see at the end. This is far from my first playthrough. I mean, I already mentioned I've played through it twice and gotten different endings. I have in mind the kind of ending I want to get this time, but there is actually quite a variety of endings. They have added a bit of replayability in that regard. So anyway, we have to go and see our boss, who's a bit of a jerk. Yes, answer. There we go.
We're supposed to be here an hour ago.
Got held up, but I'll be right there.
Fucking Frankfurt. That Abernathy bitch will probably dump it in our laps. Ugh, hanging up. I'll be in my office. You hurry up.
The Japanese Imperial Navy.
You actually get a little bit of the alternate timeline backstory. So everything's kind of the same up until World War II, and then it's behind me, isn't it? And then at that point, yeah, I know I'm ignoring things I could be reading, but I've seen all that stuff before, so chances are you've probably seen a playthrough of this before as well. It really is the mod that's going to change things up a bit. The other game I have got that I will do at some point, and one that I never actually have really played, other than a very little bit of, is Fallout New Vegas, as in the best Fallout game in terms of storytelling. And I've had it for ages and ages as well, but I just somehow never got round to actually playing it. So, yeah.
We have to handle this voting issue before we lose our bases in a sea of clouds.
So we get a little glimpse into just what Arasaka is capable of. And just what the megacorps are capable of.
Yeah, just as we thought. You know what to do. Start now.
Yep, just murdering a bunch of, I presume, politicians. All in a day's work for Arasaka.
I watched the vote. What the hell was that?
A deep clean. after the shit Frankfurt dumped on us. As we agreed, I got rid of the problem.
I told you to resolve the problem, not massacre the European
It does have
Space
very
Council.
kind of original
Do you understand
RoboCop
what the
vibes, doesn't it?
cover-up will cost?
This definitely feels like you could be working for
lost the
OCP.
license. Now we gained a week. That's a win.
Path of least resistance always. No nuance. Has you written all over it. We're not done talking about this.
I hate that bitch. I always have.
Have you worked together long? I mean,
This isn't. the
I've been
first time.
apparently working for Arasaka for a while, so that seems like a bit of a strange question to ask.
Smeared me in front of Japanese execs, so she'd be the one promoted to director of Spec Ops. A cunt. Now she's holding a gun to my head to make sure I don't try anything. But she won't pull the trigger because she needs me. I do what she doesn't have the guts to do.
Divide and conquer. Effective strategy.
Effective. What would you do in my position?
You have to defend yourself. Remind Abernathy you're not her doormat.
You're right.
Smack her once, but hard. She'll respect you.
Seems we see eye to eye on this issue.
Well, not quite, because I know what he's going to say next. For my little test play, I did actually start off with the Corpo path, so I know what the very beginning is like.
The data shard.
Proof of my trust. Go on, take it. It's what I've collected over the past weeks. Biometrics, trauma team card, names of her closest associates. Driver, chief of security, lover, lover's husband, everything. Use it, and make sure Abernathy won't be a problem anymore.
Hint, hint,
You
wink,
said it.
wink.
I need to defend myself.
If anyone finds out we even talked about this, I'll go down.
By which he
with
means, of course, he wants me to
That's
send her a
true.
nice bouquet of flowers
But
and
everyone
ask her
knows you
to
only made it
be
to where you
nicer.
are thanks to me.
That's what he's saying, right?
So it's not
yeah.
like they could ever believe you played no part in it.
What'll happen if I refuse?
Don't ask stupid questions. This isn't a request, V. We seem to understand each other. Take this, too. Use this money only. Find the right people for the job. No corporate affiliation. And for the core task, use someone you know inside out. Are we clear?
Yeah, I think we're clear.
Good. In that case, I'll await your report. And good luck with it. I have my AV waiting outside. It's yours to use. And don't disappoint me.
I think that might be the only time in the entire game that you ever see paper money.
I have those reports you asked for?
I don't have the time. Just send them my way.
So we also have a little optional
Hey, you alive?
side thing.
Things in the Viper pit.
Viper pit. Yeah, couldn't have said it better.
You in some trouble?
Which I think is just
Yeah,
telling us,
just
hey, optional
So I
things
can
are a
trust
thing.
For now.
That kind of sounded like a yes. Meet me at Lizzie's. Be there in an hour.
So we can... We'll have a little look. I mean, I know what's going to be there, but there's this guy here you can
I need
talk
your
to,
stamp on something.
and then you can look
It's
at your
possible
own
one of our assets was exposed.
thing. Your own monitor. Look at those chunky monitor stands. That's just... That's... yeah. Anyway.
Is it Frankfurt again?
No, different issue. Local.
Tell me. Quick version.
Our agent at Biotechnica suspects they might be onto him. They recently granted him red security clearance. That's top. He's been fishing for dirt, but it's been slow.
Your point.
They're clean. Like we run orphanages clean. Bleach server clean. We suspect they flagged him and are feeding him phony data. Should we greenlight exfil or let him keep looking?
I think this has absolutely no consequences whatsoever, so I'm going to say keep
in
him
there
digging.
digging. We invested way too much getting him that deep to back out now.
You sure?
Do I really need to repeat myself?
Oh, Of course not.
Yeah, V's kind of an asshole in this start. Right, so, open drawer. I think there's like a thingamy trauma team card in there. And again, that is something that was seemingly... Now, I can't remember if that was definitely going to be in the game, or if I'm just thinking of people's wish lists of stuff they would have liked to be in the game with Trauma Team. Drugs! Let's do some drugs. But, you know, if you'd earned enough cash that you could get a Trauma Team membership, and instead of just going down, Trauma Team turns up to save you, it certainly would have been more than we have now. Would maybe have also made for a more interesting way of doing like even if they'd had like an Iron Man mode, but you know, you can have Trauma Team membership, and so if you do go down, you at least have the chance of Trauma Team showing up. So that's just a report about NUSA and Militech, and then we have brain dances and something about V. Yeah, this is obviously not a healthy lifestyle V is living right now. Post-mortem Operation Wormy Apple. And we have no idea what that is. It could be referring to the whole Frankfurt thing they keep talking about. Although possibly not, because they're talking about this being a successful operation. So, yeah. And this kind of references a thing that you will see later on, depending on what ending... Oh, that's not the one I wanted. It's one of those games where things aren't necessarily consistent with the buttons that you're pressing. Like, if you're going to the map screen, there's the hotkey of M, but M doesn't take you back out the map screen. Then you have to press escape to get out of the map screen. If you hit M while you're in the map screen, it just shifts the viewpoint. It's slightly strange. So sometimes keys do one thing and sometimes they don't. Then you have to press another key instead. Just let us press the same key to do and undo the thing, but apparently that was too complicated. So here's another thing that you almost never get to see again. There's these air cars. Which again seems like it could have potentially been something that you as a player could have had as flying car to take you around the city, but no.
Screeched to a grisly halt following a failure in a neural stabilization system. 5 European Space Council members are dead, while 3 remain in critical condition.
Oh no, what a horrible accident. I wonder how that happened.
Shocking incident. The council members were all wearing Biotechnica-provided devices. The corporation's representatives have, as yet, refused to comment. Our reporter is on the scene. We'll have updates on developments as they come to light. Stay with N54 News for the latest.
Now I've got to give it to them. The city does, for the most part, look great. I mean, we're on patch... is it 3.1? I know they made some tweaks to various things. And I am actually running this on pretty decent settings, and it's managing to record at 60 FPS just fine. I might have to tweak things later on. I don't know how it's going to be when I get into more action-oriented scenes, but we shall see. Might have to tweak things on the fly.
We weren't scheduled to connect until the end of the week.
Quantified Satori received notification of a somewhat troubling biometric reading. I felt I should call. Is everything in order?
Let's see. V's an asshole, so let's go with...
They're dandy. Everything is.
Just think back to our last
complete
session.
denial.
The neuromotor relaxation exercises 3 times a day. They'll soothe and lift your spirit. I know this.
Sure, okay. See you later.
I gotta give them this, though. I mean, there's some real Blade Punk or Mega City 1 vibes going on with this cityscape. If anything, it's a bit more understated. You know, I tell you what would be fun. The Earth that we see in, or even just the New York City that we see in The Fifth Element. I don't think I've ever played a game that really did anything close to that aesthetic. Cloudpunk did in bits, but Cloudpunk was very much more this kind of neon style. Apart from, of course, having its own rather unique kind of voxel-based aesthetic. So, Lizzie's bar is parking out here like an asshole, and I am an asshole, so... Oh, V, you're such a jerk. Such an asshole, V. Also, how hard did I throw that ball that I knocked a guy out? Good lord.
Leave me alone.
Yeah, okay. I've never done that before, so sure.
Trouble once in.
Keep an eye on the AV for me, will ya?
I don't get paid to do that.
Do I get to punch her as well? Probably
not.
not.
A scratch on it when I get back.
They are wielding a baseball bat.
To Lizzie's.
And surprisingly amenable to me coming in, considering I just knocked out 2 people. Here we are in Lizzie's. I love this wallpaper pattern, by the way. This upper level wallpaper. I don't know what design that's whoa. Yeah, this game's still a little bit jank. I'm not touching anything there, it just slides off. Anyway, yeah, the wallpaper. I don't know if that's based on some specific design, but I really like that. And every time I come in here, I stop and think, oh yeah, the wallpaper. Anyway, so we'll definitely be back here later on at some point. And hey, there's Jackie.
You don't come here often, do you? It's good to see you, chica. Now sit down and tell me what's got your shorts in a knot.
It's good to see you too, Jack. How you been?
I got sparks flying between the Valentino boys and Maelstrom. Eddie's there for the taking, as long as you don't get flatlined. Yeah, I know how it is. Can't complain, but we ain't here to shoot the shit about me. Let me hear about this problem of yours.
Jackie, before I start, this stays between us.
Por supuesto.
Serious. This thing, it could ruin me.
So could I. You do realize who you're talking to, right? The guy who's done this before. Remember what happened in Mexico, at the border? I peeped one word.
I know. You saved my ass. If word about the cartels had gotten out...
But it didn't. And this won't either. That's why you came to see dear old Jackie.
Data shard. Take it. What do you think?
Won't come cheap. It'll have to be done on the sly. No trail. Hard eddies only.
Got the money.
Full crew job for sure. Techie, maybe 2. A runner with a gold-plated brain. And a driver with wheels from hell. Not to mention, a solo.
Mm-hmm. The piece I'm missing.
That what you need from me? My trigger finger to zero this lady?
Thought I could always count on you, Jack.
You know me. I'm not all sunshine and rainbows, but this job ain't my style. Actually, I didn't think it was yours either.
You know how Arasaka operates. Or... okay, maybe you don't. This isn't a professional request I can refuse.
But I can. And I am. And you should too.
Oh.
Now,
it was a bit glitchy there, okay. Yeah, even though we're on patch 3.1, still quite a few bugs to squash.
To this.
Was that a toast? What the hell does that even mean?
You
raise a glass to your mama, your hermana, the mamacita you'll meet at the bar. But this doesn't say a damn thing. To this.
Now, if we happen to glance over this way...
This job and all the rest of that corpo bullshit. You know what it is?
There's going to be some gentlemen appearing soon.
Been saying it all along. Sold your soul to those Arasaka fuckers. Today, they got you to zero somebody.
Any minute now. I forget exactly when it happens. I've ruined the moment now.
Zero you.
Think I have a choice? If I refuse, they take everything and leave me nothing.
Well, let them. They'll also take the fist they got gripping your balls. I don't know about you, but I'm pretty picky about who I let touch my balls. Saburo and his matones.
I do like Jackie.
Do not make the cut.
Maybe someday. But for now, I'm still well within their reach.
You'll always be within reach. Always. Hey, you lost? Got a problem?
V, is that right?
Did Jenkins send you? Don't believe I know you.
You don't, but we know you very well. Jenkins assigned you a task today. You'll share all the details with us.
Name and department again? Didn't quite catch it the first time around. Fuck!
How you feeling? Pretty sharp dive, huh?
Your access to company networks is hereby revoked. In 2 minutes, any company...
Fat lot of good you're doing here, Jackie. Thanks for the help.
Give us the data you received from Jenkins. This will conclude
I gotta say,
termination procedures.
of all the beginnings, this one feels by far the most abrupt.
How the hell did you find out?
That is not your concern. The data, now.
Information's on the shore.
Smart choice.
We done?
With the formalities, yes. But I think Abernathy would gladly up our fee for ridding her of a piece of rot like you. Stand up. You're coming with us. Come on, move it.
Wait a minute. I think you fellas might have forgotten just how far from home you are. Not sure this body's your style, let alone a healthy option. Claro.
Is that a threat?
You start shooting, maybe we join in, huh? Before you know it, somebody might die today.
We have what we came for. It'll do for now.
And apparently, that's that. Arasaka just lets you go.
V, how you feel? You alright?
Like shit. My throat's like sandpaper. Not sure I can breathe.
It's like when my little primito was ditching drugs. Nasty chills, trembling hands, cold sweat and dry heaving.
Yeah.
Is it just me, by the way, or does anyone else want to reach out and twiddle those knob things on his shoulders?
Should I get you to a ripper? Or, I guess, maybe trauma team.
They look like oven controls or something.
Give me a minute. Get my shit together. That'd be that, Jack. Just lost control of my life. Completely.
I'd say you got it back. You couldn't say no to them. So they said it to you. This is a turn for the better. You'll see. Besides, you haven't lost everything.
I have to say, I still have a friend. That's sweet.
No, dumbass. You still got that wad for the hit job, don't you? Probably some fat-ass chunk of cha-ching. Just right for a new start. That's right, chica. Buckle up. Hey, you hearing all right? Looks so hot. V!
He doesn't even try to grab you, just like, oh, sure, whatever.
Life. It starts now.
Flop on the floor, it's fine. God. Nightclub floor, you would not want to. You just wouldn't. Anyway, here is the intro that you've probably seen, like, I don't know how many times already.
Love it like you might love a mother who popped you out on the steps of an orphanage once and now stops you to ask if you got a smoke for her. Every new day here means 100 new arrivals, but only half these gonks will survive a year, and that's if it's a good one. And why do these peeps come to NC? Well, to be street samurai like Morgan, Blackhand, and Waylon Boa Boa. The greater the risk, the bigger the bounty, kids. Or so they say. But you can only be a Major League player for so long. The faster you live, the faster you burn out. If you don't get a bullet to the brain first. NC's legends. Know where you'll find most of them? The graveyard. Matters not where you're from. Matters not where you start. What matters here is the walk you walk. In Night City. The city of dreams.
I also find that weird in the apartment. I mean, the apartment generally has got this great big open area, but you've got one specific room that's just for, like, guns? I don't know. Maybe that's just a thing in the future.
Got you a little something. Militech training shard.
Right, we're definitely not going to do this. We've done this before. And, you know, I kind of know what I'm doing at this point. He says before he dies multiple times, probably.
Not now, Jack. No time. Maybe later.
Sure. Mañana.
Let's do this.
Elevator. This way.
If I remember correctly, there should be... There we go. Something hiding back here. Even if it's only a little bit of junk. Anytime you like, game. There we go.
Target's Sandra Dorset. Target's biomon went mute a couple hours back. Suspected abduction. Target could have possibly flatlined already. Not sure you're in time.
We're in time, Bug. We. Sure you're on phones, but that don't make you any less part of this squad.
Squad. Charming.
Bug. Could at least try to be nice.
Yeah, I don't think that's T-Bug somehow.
Call a damn helpline.
I do like. I know I was kind of staring this a bit, but yeah, the overall quality of the art and like this, it does feel like a proper lived-in place.
Looking for 1237. Target should be inside, but I got 0 eyes on her biomon. Fingers crossed it's not too late.
Is that you?
Ugh, I hate this life or death shit. Hurry.
Ooh. Floor
Try
chocolate.
hacking the door. Think you can trip it on your own, V?
That's actually one of the things the mod does rebalance is food things. Right, so we need to... This is one of the very few times when you do actually get to open a door that way.
No profile.
Oh, I don't want crouching yet. Bounce back, and just some random junk, and some other stuff. There's probably going to be lots and lots of me looting in this.
Are we fucking late? Is that her? Is that our target, V?
Sandra Dorset's protected
Ooh,
under
yeah,
Echelon 2
lovely.
local immunity.
Guts and, you know,
Top shelf.
giblets. I did say there'd be
Seems
giblets.
back in Black Market Zeta Tech repros. Typical back alley fix-ups. Not our lucky gal. Let's keep looking.
Mira, eyes up. Pendejos ahead. Quiet, V.
Now this is all just kind of tutorial out of this point.
Baby steps, V. Enemies watching.
It's one of the few times when you get the option to kill and hide a body all in one go. I mostly don't.
On your toes. More bodies incoming. They're almost on you.
Sneak past. Just a random cyber mob already. I'll actually maybe see if I can make the voices a bit. Let's just... Oh, hello, Sam. I'm being meowed at by a cat. If I put things down slightly just to make the voices a bit more... to pop a bit. We'll see if that works. Oh, we'll also go with disable copyrighted music. That's probably a thing I should do. Now, I've done this loud plenty of times, but it is apparently possible to do it sneaky as well.
Grab the one closest.
Oh, and now I'm having to play around a cat on my lap. Excellent, you're helping, Sam. Thank you very much. You're a very helpful cat.
All down. Let meet. We're probably not the last of them. Move on. Move up. I'm behind you, V.
And I do not need to wait for that one to move. Also, one thing I can show you right now, now that we've picked up some extra weapons, is they all do more or less the same damage. This is one of the things the mod does, is there's a huge rebalancing of how the weapons work, and also how the crafting works, which we'll see later on as well. So, at the moment, that is giving me a bit more of everything. Same headshot multiplier. Pistols are definitely less OP than they are in the vanilla game. Pistols can be seriously OP. Some of the best weapons, in fact. Yeah, let's stick with that one. And maybe we'll have to use it, maybe we won't. These are all rebalanced as well, basically based on the type. I mean, in the vanilla game you get subtle differences between all the ones you pick up, but no, they basically now all have the exact same bonus, and only that bonus. So some of them give you bonus to ADS time, others give you a bonus to the maximum range that you have. So let's, I guess, grab if it comes up. I think I can sneak out behind that person. There's like a hole in the bathroom wall. Now, there's two of them left in that room, and you'd think that's going to be a problem later on. Oh, also, they've never fixed that. You see that little line around the reticle? Wow, that's... How have they never fixed that? I guess it's low priority. It's one of those tiny little noticeable things that doesn't actually have an impact on gameplay. How... What? Jackie, how did you come through that... Oh, crap. How did you come through that way and nobody noticed you, Jackie? What the hell? Right, now this is the point where we can do a little bit of distraction. Somehow, magically, Jackie just walked in front of a bunch of people and they didn't notice him, because if they didn't notice him, that wouldn't be much fun. Right, is that gonna get his attention? Yes. There we go. The old Nicky Snappy.
Looks like you got him. Clear to go.
Shit, where the hell's our target?
And then just Jackie takes out. Oh. Yeah, I should have gotten that mod actually. There's a mod that, because the button to skip dialogue and the button to crouch are the same button, and so sometimes you're trying to uncrouch and end up skipping dialogue instead, which is annoying. I might have to go and find that mod afterwards. Because, yeah, it's a wee little bitty irritating. Now, bear in mind, as I'm, talking as I'm doing this, I'm possibly going to miss stuff that I wouldn't if I was more taking my time and being extremely thorough. I can't remember if you see anything interesting on these. Let's have a quick look. No, these are just spam messages. Bit of cash. There's anything on this one? Seems like they've pissed somebody off. Oh yeah, wait, Victor. You actually see a message to these guys from Victor. Apparently they're not best buds. And again, pressing the escape button when I wanted to press the C button. Oh, here we go.
Christ.
I wonder if there's anything else in here. Right, let's just... Screw that guy, don't care about him. May or not be
I think I got her.
alive,
Got her
but that's
target.
not who we're here for. We're here for Sandra Dorset.
About to find out.
V, Jack and Tor Biomon. Need to know what we're dealing with.
I mean, she's still twitching.
Jacking in.
Not look good.
Twitching is good, right?
Sandra Dorset, NC 570442. Trauma Team Platinum.
Platinum? Shit. Trauma should have swooped in if she sneezed.
Guessing they jammed the transmitter, Sig. Looking at a hacked Biomon, firmware reconfig, or a neurovirus.
Carajo, T-Bug. You ain't seeing this place. This is tubs, ice, hooks, and cleavers.
Scott Muncher's hack, huh? Got an idea. Check her neural cord. Find a shard? Yeah, pull it. That'll be what's muting the Biomon.
Found the shard. Removing now.
Check the Biomon. Anything change?
Greetings, Sandra. If you are conscious, assume recovery position now. An emergency evacuation unit has been dispatched and is due to arrive at your location in 180 seconds.
Biomon claims trauma will be here in 3 minutes.
Your premium plan will cover 90% of the projected costs of your rescue and treatment.
Pobrecita. Let's get her off that ice.
Fuck!
She's flatlining.
V, need to know what's going
Jackie
on.
air hypo. Fuck!
Yeah, let's just jam her with some random drugs. That'll do the trick, probably. Mind you, it's one of the few instances I can think of in a video game where, I mean, you the player gets to have the magic make better drugs, and you get to use the magic make better drugs on somebody else as well.
Scav rats abandoned.
Alright, there's a couple of things in this room I need to pick up.
Decided to cut their losses.
So even though it says like 3 minutes, it's actually way quicker because the moment you come out here, they just appear. Now, I don't know if it's possible to get shot by the trauma team in this particular bit, but maybe. Let's not find out, shall we?
Place the patient on the ground.
Yeah, well, will if it'll let me. There we go. I don't think much of their bedside manner, but I guess that's not what they're paid for. It's an interesting idea, the whole trauma team thing. Like, it actually fits in really well with the whole setting. I don't know if it comes from the tabletop, the RPG rules or not. I'm guessing it possibly does. Anyway, off they go.
Let's get out of here. Elevator gets us
Right,
to the
there was
garage
something in there. Bounce
Good work.
back.
Shit show's over.
Oh, a trilby. We're going to wear the trilby. One thing that is definitely different. Armor hats don't seem to give you armor anymore, but as you get better ones, you still have slots that you can put things in with them as well. Oh wait, because we're still in the tutorial mode. It's not that.
Cutting my wires now. See you in the
Let
near
me
future.
hold more than one weapon. Anything else in here?
I got this thing. Mind if I borrow your wheels?
Huh.
I got a date with Misty, but I can't take the metro. How's it gonna look for me?
Oh.
Won't leave you hanging, Jack. Don't get used to it.
Grub.
Saving my ass.
Food actually is kind of handy as like a backup
about I
healing
drive you
item.
home,
Allows you
It's all
to
yours.
use less of
I'm
your
beat as is.
primary healing.
Oh, almost forgot. Should get Wakako on the hollow. Tell her the job's done.
So, tutorial. Call Wakako.
V, how did it go? Our client is alive and well.
Of course she's alive and well. It's what we agreed, isn't it?
Splendid. Your payment awaits you. Ready to come and grab whenever you like, even right away. But I guess home is the only place you wish to be now. The NCPD has surrounded Watson. The district is closed. If you're to make it past the cordon, you must move fast.
Thanks for the heads up. Swing by to see you later.
Okay, so
Words
that's our
out the
first level
NCPD is
up.
gonna put Watson on lockdown. If I'm gonna sleep in my own bed tonight, we better put it in fifth.
Leave it to me, Chica. I'm driving.
They don't believe in no fate. Every day digging the grave. Step in the pit with stakes. City of dreams, city of game. You don't believe in no fate.
Can't stop digging Night City.
City like any other, just bigger.
I wish you got to do this more often, actually. Just be a passenger.
Morgan Blackhand.
Obviously, there's no functional buses or taxis in the game, but is it? I'm pretty sure GTA 4 you could, but GTA 5 you couldn't. Just ride around in a taxi. Which I kind of missed from GTA 5, actually. Sometimes it was nice to just be, you know, an observer. Right, this is the bit where you cannot avoid being lethal. I mean, you kind of can in that very early section if you do non-lethal takedowns, but here you absolutely have to fight people. And you'll notice this is actually... Ooh. A little bit... Oh, I've got a headshot. Let's take healing doodad. Also, I'm hanging out in a rather unsafe fashion here.
Got you, assholes!
Ooh.
V, aim for the driver!
I'm trying! I mean, there's a bit of door framing. Oh, okay. That'll do. So yeah, I don't think it'd be possible to do a fully non-lethal playthrough because you cannot avoid that. Just, you
It's
can't.
okay. I can wait. Let's just focus on getting home.
I think I've kind of shelved that idea anyway. Maybe at some point in the future I'll try and do a non-lethal playthrough just for the challenge. But this will not be that playthrough. I'm going to be full murder hobo, to use a D&D term.
Watson's on lockdown to further notice. Necessary security measure.
Officer, ma'am! Damn, are we ever lucky we ran into you.
Really? What's it that makes me so special?
A heart of gold? Because only somebody with a heart of gold can understand just how much I need to get back to my girl.
Your girl?
Uh-huh. I'm gonna be worried sick if I don't show. I mean, I'm trying to be a stand-up guy. She's giving me a chance. Just waiting.
That's a shame.
Look at him. No model citizen, maybe, but he's a good kid.
Let them through.
Aw, I was kind of hoping that would do something different. I've never actually used that interrupt before, but no, literally doesn't change anything. I mean, obviously it wouldn't be like, oh well, now you can't go through because the game mostly isn't that. Like, it doesn't give you that many choices. Oh, what's that?
So you can be nice when you feel
When am I not nice?
always.
I'm always never not nice.
So we're about to encounter another thing that ended up really not being something you encounter very much. Which is Max Tack coming down from the sky and blowing away a motherfucker. Or three.
Doesn't look like your average boss.
This ain't your average badges. Max Tack. CPD's apex predators. MTAC rolls in when things fly out of hand. Conk's out there though. Just a midday snack for him.
Even if you're using mods that change how the police or tweak how the police work a bit, you're still like they just kind of still teleport in. Or I think at most you'll see them drive in, depending on the mods used, but yeah. See them actually come flying down out of the sky would have been cool. Alas, it was not to be.
Sweet dreams then.
Tell Misty I said hi.
I will. Ahí luego.
Right, so back to the apartment. Where's the button gone? It's hiding from me. Don't laugh.
Bug? Forgot earlier. A runner I know has something you could probably use. Zip in your deets.
Praise be to thee, our Father in heaven.
Oh, there we go. I remember to get a bit of a view out of one of the windows. I just couldn't remember which one.
Which promotes the use of cybernetic implants. How's that treating you, beautiful?
So here we are. Home sweet home almost.
Oh, stupid gate's busted again. Third time. Hate to get it fixed the last.
Nice big open space. Nice little recessed area with some things you can pick up. You can even sit on the couch. Room for just weapons. You've got this tiny little like wardrobe area and then huge room for weapons as one does. Never actually completed the weapon collection. You need some very specific what are they called? The legendary items, the epic items, I can't remember now. That go in these individual slots. Not every single one of them that you can get in the game goes in here. And there's probably an achievement for completing it, but who can be bothered? Is there actually anything in there right now? A few things. I've got some of the I can't even remember. There's some of the freebie bits that we've got, but I think we'll probably stick with what we've got wearing. And there's also some stuff here. Eddies, and is there anything particularly want to take? I think we might just leave all that stuff there. Although we could take it and just break it all down, I suppose. Potentially. Okay, let's just take it. It's not like I can restore it back in there again. So, hoover up all the things I can hoover. And let's have our first night's sleep. I think literally everybody gets bugged by how V sleeps on this bed. It just ain't right. It just isn't.
V? You get your beauty sleep? No matter. Time you got up.
I think I might have caught something when I jacked into that Corpo's biome. Don't know, a neurovirus or Need to see Vic. Let him tell me what's got my head reeling and my stomach churning.
Okay, let me take you. I brought you a ride. Throw on some threads, meet me downstairs.
Okay, so I'm going to take a quick trip into first the inventory and then the crafting menu. Let's see what stuff we've picked up. We actually could get the Wolf School jacket. We've also got the Black Unicorn katana. Let's just take all of the stuffs. We can break down the things we don't need for components, which also will give me crafting XP. So we have that, which has got 2 mod slots, but we will be able to upgrade those, because I'll show you in a second how the crafting is a bit different. We also have these, favourite top, but we've also got the Wolf School t-shirt, which we can take. And some other bits. Some one slightly better armor, but we'll just take those and break those down. And baseball cap, we will break that down. Just gonna junk quite a lot of stuff. Although that one looks quite nice. That jacket. I might keep stuff to upgrade potentially. This does solve some of the... Oh, well, there we go. That's actually got a mod in there already. It does solve some of the problems with the clothing issues one can have where you have to wear certain things because, you know, they have the best armor. This flattens all that out quite nicely. So, weapons, what do we want to have? Let's put our slicey sword in there. And then we don't have... I might hang on to the copperhead and junk the rest of these. And let's see what we can do crafting wise, because there we go. We actually start off with a certain number of crafting recipes. So things like ammo and the whatchamacallums, the max stocks, the bounce back. But we can also have, potentially, we can upgrade super duper versions of these. Now I don't know if this is new. If that's from patch 3.1 or if this is to do with the mod, because I don't think you could do that previously. So we're gonna get the Nekomata, which is a tech sniper rifle which can shoot through walls. So we'll swap that out for the Unity, and we might even just scrap the Unity, to be honest. So this is probably going to be one of our main weapons. There are other sniper rifles. There's a really nice sniper rifle you can get on later on, which has a built-in silencer. I don't think any of the tech weapons can be silenced, so that's one of the disadvantages of going into tech weapons, but there are some pretty heavy advantages to offset that. So if I go into upgrades... Oh, has breaking stuff down let me... Or is it just re-showing me those new things again? I don't know, maybe. So yeah, we can actually, instead of increasing the amount of armor, we can increase the quality level, and increasing the quality level will add slots. So I can say take this, we'll go with these trousers. We'll say upgrade, and suddenly we now have green level trousers. We have to get them to blue level before we can get a slot in them. So going from white to green doesn't necessarily give much advantage, but from the next step up we can then get more slots, and it means you'll always be able to, if you've got a particular item of clothing that you like, you can then add useful slots to it. Because in vanilla, of course, the quality of the item doesn't necessarily always guarantee a certain number of slots. Sometimes you can have a purple item that's only got 3 when you want 4 slots, for example. So it definitely offers a bit more flexibility in terms of wearing what you want to wear. Now I swear I picked up... oh, we're going to scrap some of these as well, weren't we? Apparently we can make like a epic version of the... Oh, we'll just keep the Galaxy one. We'll keep the t-shirt. Why not? Oh, yeah, right. So I don't think we actually have... No, that's filled up. Okay, we don't have anything else we can do at the moment. Apart from leveling, potentially. Oh, no, can't pick that up. Yeah, there's still things you can't pick up. Yeah, there's a nice little thing, like if you go around the corner... Oh, I'm being called.
Regina Jones here. If you're looking for work in Watson, give me a call.
Yeah, I only live here, and this is the very first time you've bothered to call me, but sure, whatever.
Could even call me a collector. Later, V.
That's a bit rude, person, just walking into me. Right, what we're doing? Right. If you go around here, you'll actually encounter somebody being held up. And you're not very nice, but we're actually going to do a non-lethal takedown here.
Good doggy!
Did you really just... I don't even know.
What an awful place! Thank you!
Stop walking through things! No, I can't remember if there's anything... Oh yeah, there we go. We found some eddies around there. $. And it's also along here somewhere that there's the cat Easter egg that you can get for your apartment. I think it's this pile here. Later on, you need cat food, which was a thing previously. When the game came out, there was very few places that you could find it. You couldn't buy it anywhere, and then they decided to change that up a bit. So, let's do the level up just now. Shall we do... let's just go into tech ability. Oh, that's not the button. We actually need to... There we go, press F. And I think we'll do something that benefits rifles, maybe? There's some stuff to do with rifles and sniper rifles specifically in Cool, but that's also more stealth and poison. It's a bit mixed up. So there is some useful things here, but there's also a lot of things that would not be useful to me at all. Right, do I want to maybe do something with engineering? Gain more components when disassembling. We're going to be disassembling a lot, so let's actually do that to start with. There's one particular handgun I'm on the lookout for as well. We'll just sell junk. That's only a little bit, but it's fine. I think I'm going to stick to selling junk and playing missions for my income, because you've got the choice with weapons. You can either scrap them or sell them. And I'm, I think, mostly going to be scrapping them because we're heavily going to go into engineering. Right, there is the guy over here who...
Hey, yo, V.
And again, this is like tutorial stuff.
Round or two. What do you say?
But he's the one that wants to sign you up for the wrestling thing. I don't, the fighting thing rather, and I have done that previously and I'm not really going to bother. Although the patch rebalanced it, I think the mod also rebalances some stuff about the fights specifically.
No, not today. Thanks anyway.
Whatever.
And you can also buy some melee weapons off this guy as well. Get the thing that's in there. There is a thing that lets you specifically auto disassemble junk items, but I got that the first time round, but man, you can miss out on so much money doing that. Right, so...
Let's have a look.
He has got... This is the first iconic weapon that you are sort of exposed to, so that's alright, but that's a power weapon, so we probably won't be using that a lot. You can now... And I don't know if this is the mod or not, or if this is the vanilla game, but you can just buy skill shards, although they are quite expensive. So is there anything useful we want here? We do want a long scope, but I don't know if he sells any long scopes. I don't think he's got any useful crafting specs either. There's a lot more, and this is definitely the mod, there is a lot more differentiation between vendors. Vendors will sell things that are appropriate to the area they are in, or as much as the modder. I can't remember the guy's name now. It's like Spider something or Spiders and a bunch of numbers. But yeah, sort of thing we can status effect, increase damage by 6%. I'll maybe buy some of them. Now this you can right away buy a packs once you get here. You can make specific weapons non-lethal. There's also cyberware that makes all your weapons non-lethal. But this would be the easiest and earliest way, would be to get packs, put it on a ranged weapon, and then just use that until you could get the cyberware. Right, that will do for now. And sadly you can't actually use the shooting range until one specific little side quest. What was I going? Oh yeah, we're going to put. Can't put a scope on there yet, but that's only got 2% bleeding chance. We'll just do increases damage to get that up to be a bit higher. Break that down and stick a scope on this copperhead. 20 meters. What does that do? Shock chance. Let's stick that on that for now. I think having some kind of assault rifle or SMG to hand is probably going to be very useful. Because, yeah, previously, my experience playing this previously is, you know, you go for headshots with things like revolvers or pistols or whatever, and they can do a lot of damage and knock things out in one go. But that's not really the case with this. You need the big heavy guns that pack a lot of punch. So even though the DPS values are the same, of course, that it's still like the amount of damage per bullet can vary drastically based on the rate of fire. So it really is only the sniper rifles that have that big punch. So let's go meet Jackie.
So,
I wonder if it still does that thing where every time you walk past these people they're having the same conversation. Oh, also there is a very important item down here we have to get. If I can find it. No, that's just some random trash croissant. Taped square glasses, there we go. And I could have just equipped them right there and then, but never mind. The most important accessory in the entire game. More random cash. Right, so a little bit of tutorializing, but it's fine, we know what we're doing. Doesn't mean I'm not going to die often, but, you know, in theory I know what I'm doing.
Woman of the hour. It took you long enough. Up an appetite, just wait. Sit down, let me finish this. Then we can drop in on Senor Vector.
Mentioned something about a surprise yesterday. Am I remembering right, or just had brain fart?
Probably both, because you usually forget shit. But it just so happens, I think I might have bagged us a sweet-ass J.O.B.
Go on.
I mean, maybe it's not as big as that, but just that it's fronted by a little-known someone named Dexter Deschamps. Only the top fixer in Night fucking City. Fat-ass black Jesus of the afterlife. 300 pounds of partly gold-plated coup.
Dexter Deschamps. What's the latest spec on him? Know you got info to spill.
He's been off the grid for about 2 years. Word on the street was he took a little vacay.
2 years? That's exile, not a
I don't know what the lighting's doing on him just at the moment. It's
guessing he
a
shoved
weird
pizzas in
flickery
his
strip. I don't know what's... yeah, that looks very odd.
He's back. It's a fresh crew, and he found us.
How did you manage to pull this? Trade in your spleen or something? As far as I know, we're not the type to get fingered by Dex.
You, me? Oh, but T-Bug. She's the one that hooked us up. Got us talking. Knew it was a done deal the moment he laid eyes on me. 'Cause come on, ain't nobody who can resist this. Am I right?
Sure, Jack. Whatever you say. So what's the gig? We meant to come out in one piece?
Well, our savior wants to tell you everything himself. Face to face. No pressure, but old deal's riding on you now, chica.
All right, let's hear what old Dex has to say. Set it up.
Dex is a real deal when it comes to fixers. Don't get me wrong. Don't got nothing against
I still want to
Padre
twiddle his
or
knobs. Which, you know, sounds a bit lewd when I put it that way, but anyway.
Don't get me started on fixers. They catch a client, find the cheapest gonk to do the job, then drop their corpse at a landfill.
Shit. Hit the nail on the head, V. Gracias a Dios. Muy lleno. Brought your wheels. Gave them to my guy yesterday to smooth over the dents after our dust up with scabs.
Thanks, Jack. Much appreciated.
Right.
Some top-notch work,
I think, just watching this, I might have to tweak some of the graphic settings. I don't think we're quite hitting 60 FPS.
We rolling or what?
Let's feel this factory new.
Yeah, we're definitely not. So, give me just a second. Well, let's see how we do with that. I've tweaked some things down from high to medium. Mostly stuff to do with shadows, which is usually fairly graphics intensive.
Easy on the gas, eh? I just ate.
And oh, I also might need to retweak, where are we? Controls. Steering sensitivity. Let's try that at 80% because yeah, that was one of the things they did with one of the earlier patches was tweak the driving controls, but they're still not fantastic. Oh no, this is a bit too heavy now. Hang on. Why is it putting us? Why is it saying we're in combat? What? I don't know, game. You're very strange.
Yeah, this is it. Come on, V.
Jackie, what?
We'll hash out what Dex has cooked up for us.
Yeah. Still. What? What the fuck? I picked up some crap from the street. Why? Oh, I don't even know. I don't even know.
Do you truly believe?
What? Why is every? Oh, I don't know. They're all giving me the stink eye, and I have no idea why. Because this game is a little bit glitchy, little bit.
Hey V. Dr. Vector will see you now.
I'll sit tight over here. Me and Misty got a little catching up to do.
You look pleased.
Right, this is one of the few occasions where you see a cat out in the wild, and also just a random gun on the ground. Okay then. I guess that's... I don't remember finding that previously, but I don't know. Pet the cat. And I shall call it Sam. Actually, I don't think that's not the cat you get to have later. It is a different cat. I'm petting virtual cat Sam. He doesn't seem very fussed. I don't think he cares. He doesn't care when I pat other real cats.
As ever, you old ripper. Good to see you.
He's not jealous, are you, Sam? No.
Oh, wow. What do I owe the pleasure today?
Last gig. Had to jack into a client's neuro socket. Think I might have gotten spiked.
Experiencing migraines, nausea, hypersensitivity to bright lights?
Whole kit and caboodle.
All right, kid. We'll sort you out in a flash. Besides that, how are things?
Need some new kit, but tools, not toys, Vic. Time I bumped up my sights and got a grip.
Really? Now? Finally?
Vic, shit's getting real. Got a job from Dex to Sean, hitting the major leagues. Need tech that can perform.
The Dexter Deshawn? Well, that is something. But let me guess. Hasn't paid you yet.
Quit crying.
It is possible to bum around and scrape up enough cash that you can have the money for Victor when you first see him, but we're not going to do that this time. Takes a while.
Chair, please.
Yeah, that's what you want to see
Relax.
when you go to see a doctor. Just casually sticking some drugs in their arm. It's fine. It's fine. Don't worry about it.
Kuroshi Optics. Best I've got, and should be about right under the circumstances. Now jack in. You peruse and choose while I scan.
Now,
See
I've
what's
got
going
a
on inside.
bit of cash left over, so there's probably one or two more things that I can have. These are the kind of on the tab items, but he does have some other bits, and I think the mod has made some changes to cyberware things as well. Now we can increase carry capacity. I think we'll leave that for now. Nervous system, armor by 10. We'll save the cash because we can get better versions of that later on. Circulatory system, reach time, electroshock, we don't want that. It's one that restores some health, but he doesn't have it. Oh, we looked at skeleton already. Arms and legs we definitely can't get yet. I don't think there's anything we can get from him right now that's particularly useful, so let's just go with the stock
like
items.
I said, decent enough scanner.
We'll have to go to some other Ripper docs for other stuff.
Cherry on the top's a built-in external lens disruptor. In layman's terms, any surveillance cam will capture your face as a blur.
And when the game first came out,
Body will still show
even
up
though,
as
you know,
crystal
he says this, it didn't work. They did patch it though.
This should do the trick. Talks to Kuroshi.
Man, this game was so, like, it came out so half-baked. It
I'm
really
ready.
did.
Carve away.
Can't help but wish that held it back for even like another 6 months to a year.
Lay that major league arm of yours right here.
It probably wouldn't have been magnificently better, but it might have been a lot more polished, and we might have had some of the cut
Just like
stuff
that.
still be in
Thanks.
the game, like a functional police system, for
Now,
example,
a bit of anesthetic, and I can start cutting.
or a functional mass transit system.
Feel anything?
Same as always. Don't feel a thing. You ask me that every time, you know. Not as if things are gonna be any different today.
Sure thing, kid. I mean, not like there's any risk of a stroke or paralysis, but what do I know? I'm just a doctor. That's what I thought. Lights out for a minute, all right? Okay, let's test this. See the magic in action. Linking you in. You might feel a little discomfort at first. Blurred vision, low contrast, glitches. Well, how's it look? Feel all right to you?
Oh, this is fantastic, Vic.
Oh, beautiful.
Yeah, this thing, by the way, it's like,
Time for the scanner.
it kind of. I wonder if they were going to do more with that, being able to scan random people and see if they had bounties on them, or I don't know. It's one of the many things where it kind of feels like perhaps there was going to be a bit more.
Might take you a few seconds to adjust, but first time's rarely the charm, with anything, really. Scanner should eventually sync with your thought processes and read your intentions. I also inject an NCPD file search. Run into any ne'er-do-wells? You know exactly what they ne'er did well. It ought to work like a charm. Now draw your
Bit
weapon.
useless to me since I'm not
See
really
your
going to be
ammo
using
count in a
power
brand new
weapons,
sight.
especially with the like the whole ricochet functionality. Which, to be honest, felt a bit gimmicky. I did try using it a couple of times, but you need both something in your optic slot and the hand cyberware.
Shit, Victor, not bad. I don't know what to
And
say.
it really was kind of not that useful most
Say
of
you'll
the
take
time.
this and remember the dosage. 2 whiffs now, and another 2 in an hour.
You're the best, Vic. I owe you.
And you never do take that second dose.
Go on, kid. Show 'em what
There's
you're
probably some
made
things I could hoover up around
of.
here,
And once
but
you hit the big leagues,
you know, I like Vic. We're not going to nick from him. One thing that it took me a really long time to realise, it wasn't until I actually saw a video talking about some of the cut content, is that this is a whole like garage area, and apparently there's a description of him somewhere that talks about him also being dead into cars, and potentially this was somewhere where you could also, as a player, have maybe gotten cars modded. But again, cut content. So yay! Well done, CDPR. Did such a good job.
Your heart chakra looks a little out of whack, babe. I can release it for you, but you'd have to watch out for negative energy fields and avoid mean reds.
V, yo, listen up. I talked to Dex while you were in with the doc. He's waiting in his ride. For you. Ain't but a hop to where he's parked. Next to Gramsci Burgers.
Okay. Do my best to talk us up.
Now, I happen to know that Gramsci was an Italian communist, and the only reason I know that is it got referenced in an episode of Spaced.
The number of cyber psycho attacks in the city is on the rise. Now, that's
There you go.
to you, but this issue matters to me for a few reasons. There are people who say cyber psychosis can be treated.
Oh, right, now there is a little, like, they kind
And
of
I know exactly how
put a
that
thing
sounds,
over here, so
but I
we might
believe
as
even
well
unproven therapy is
give our combat a go and see what that's all about.
possible attack. I'll give you a call. Maybe you can
Now,
investigate.
we're not going to be blundering around like the way, like how I was at first, but we're going to be... Oh, we have to charge it.
Try to incapacitate the attacker, and I'll send
This
someone
is
to
going to
pick
be a
you
lot
up.
easier once I get a scope. Yeah, I know,
I
stupid.
hope that's all clear.
Oh, and I missed. This is just kind of like a little introductory interaction with the cops, so we don't need to charge it because we're not shooting through anything. And then it's great, you just get to loot the crime scene and the cops don't give a crap. Just take all of the things, including looting from their dead comrades' bodies. And oh, there we go, we've got a attack weapon. It's not the one we want, however. What is that, a Kenshin? Yeah, we're holding out for a specific one that can shoot through things, because that's the gimmick of tech weapons, is you can shoot through obstacles once you've charged up things. Once you've charged them up, rather, and then there's skills later on that like decrease the amount of charge needed or decrease the time it takes to charge. Right, if you're quick enough, one of them's left like alive to talk to. He's still alive, but having a bit of a lie down on the ground. And he does a whole "thank you for helping citizens" thing. The NCPD don't seem like the happiest bunch in the world. Right, we've actually got some... Where am I missing? Oh, half merged into a bin, because why not? And so maybe a little bit of cash or something around here, one never knows. Take a little Krabby Patty, or have some bottles randomly explode because I stood next to them. Because physics! Alright, let's go and talk to Dexter Deshawn. And I suspect we might be wrapping up the episode because I've been going for a little while and it'll be a good place to end.
Yo, Miss V. A pleasure.
Dexter Deshawn in the flesh. Ample indeed.
Let's roll. Mind if I ask you something right off the bangle? Would you rather live in peace as Miss Nobody, die ripe, old, and smelling slightly of urine, or go down for all times in a blaze of glory smelling near like posies without seeing your 30th?
You're either somebody or you fizzle out into nothing. Night City don't let you choose.
Oh, but it does. See, in my line of work, I choose to be Mr. Chill. But folk who try to take advantage, well, they see the beast inside. All right, listen close. Scanning a serious job now. Playing gargantuan compared to smashing up a scav home.
Let me hear it. What's the job?
There's this prototype tech. A biochip to be precise. Job's to grab it. Simple.
Guessing it belongs to a corp?
Mm-hmm. Arasaka. Surely that's no problem.
Corp's
Yeah, I
dangerous.
don't think she'd have any problem with that somehow.
Shit, you ain't playing around. Got a feeling this could be a start of a beautiful friendship built on heaps of eddies.
You work this out? Got a plan?
Two things. First, a conundrum with the Maelstrom boys. Needs active resolving that. Second, a rendezvous. Simple. Client who brought us the job's anxious. She wants to parlay with one of the team.
What's the issue needs resolving with Maelstrom? Got a beef?
Slotting the shard. Got a classic tale for you. Psycho gang doing his thing 2 weeks back. Jumped a Militech convoy. Got away with the gear. Corp don't even know Maelstrom's involved. Now see, convoy was carrying the Flathead, a little combat bot, a prototype. And I need me that bit of high-grade military tech. Because if we don't get that bot, we don't get no soccer chip. And we sure as hell don't get no happily ever after. But don't get excited. It's a single-use toy.
And again, cut content. Originally, it was supposed to be a thing that you'd get to use throughout the game.
Went by the name of Brick.
Yeah.
I say when, because Brick
They took out so much.
3 days after we'd sealed our deal, his
And
friend
cut
and
back
teammate
on so much.
Simon Randall, aka Royce, plain dropped his ass. Royce is in charge now, and I got no way of knowing if he aims to honor his predecessor's word. To add to this shitstorm, one Meredith Stout of Militech has developed an interest in said convoy.
Corpo agent. What's she playing at?
Hell if I know. Been skidding around town asking after the convoy as if her life depended on finding it. The one lead she's got zip-tied in her trunk.
Sounds like she was waiting on the transport. Got stood up. Monochrome in the back's probably her chief suspect. Got nothing from him or on him, so she's keeping him just in case. But she needs to find the stolen gear before her bosses learn she fucked up.
Well, Miss V, that is some impressive deduction. Naturally, use that intel as you please. Preferably well. Of course, to do so, you'll need that frazzled cat's info. Sending it now.
Client. What's her thing? Why does she need to meet?
Woman's name's Evelyn Parker. Betting her wasn't easy.
That is a very
The word
smoky
out I was
cigar.
looking for any kind of intel.
Right, and?
Are we sure the driver's not
Some
on
brothers
fire?
from
Or, you know, the car itself?
Told me to stop looking. End the convo.
Because that would be an issue.
Anyway, our little client insisted on meeting someone with skin in the game. You know.
I don't remember it being that smoky. Maybe it's to do with the graphics settings I changed. I don't know.
Yours truly will be remote. T-Bug ain't no people person, and Jaggy's only good at some things. I know you know what I mean. Pretty much leaves you.
Think I got everything. Time I got to work.
Well, that's just music to my ears. I'll set up the meet with Miss Parker at Lizzie's bar. Flathead, though's gonna be all you.
Skip ahead then.
One more thing, Miss V. Quiet life or blaze of glory? Later now.
I do wonder why the few times you're in cars, I don't know if it's just some cars, but they've got those little screens in the black in the back, and you can't even play Tetris on them, which is very yeah.
Jackster, talk to Dex.
Yeah, Gordito's a big deal. Literally a nanya.
Claimed to want to check our pro cred, but to me it feels more like he tangled us up with Maelstrom and Militech. There's this combat bot military
Driving
prototype.
very slowly.
Maelstrom clept it, then Dex paid to take it off their hands just before the Gangoons had a switch up in management.
Right. Heard about that. Royce versus Brick. Hostile takeover.
About sums it up. Dex wants us talking to Royce. Gave the deeds of some Militech agent too, but don't know how much help she stands to be.
Chingon.
Yeah, you don't sound thrilled. Royce, what do you know about him?
He's fucking whack, something special. Junkies snort junk. Royce snorts chrome.
Then there's the other thing. Gotta meet the client who put the job on the table, Evelyn Parker.
You? Well, what's Dex gonna do? Ride around in his limo, chat chicks up on the hollow?
Parker wants to meet someone on the crew. Dex gave me the nod.
He must know what he's doing. So, how you want to play this? Maelstrom or Parker? What's first?
I think probably next time we'll go with Maelstrom first, so we'll say that, but it doesn't really matter what you answer here, I don't think.
In that case, I'll hit the all foods, put my nose to the ground, sniff around. Hasta luego.
So, we've got one more level up to play with, and we'll put that into tech as well, and let's go with craft rare items. Get that sooner rather than later would be good. I don't know if that will let us do anything right at this moment. Why is it saying we've... These aren't new. I've seen these already. I've cleared the... I don't know. Can we actually upgrade? We could upgrade our glasses. Well, let's do it. Which takes a bunch of resources, but also gives us a bunch of crafting XP. And that has actually given me another perk point, so yay! Let's maybe put that into... let's see. Increases crit chance when firing from behind cover. Well, we're going to be doing that a lot, so we will take that because we're going to be firing through cover quite a lot as well. So, yeah, that is it for this. Oh, I like that building. This first episode. I'm curious to see what the comments will be like, and yeah, I'll also stick the link into that Rebalance mod on Nexus, and you can go and read the full list of what it does, because it really is quite extensive. So hopefully you've enjoyed this, and if you have, you can do all the usual things down underneath the video, and of course, as always, stay tuned for more.